All right, technical difficulty. My computer froze, glitched out. So,
Yep.
Crossroads podcast number 77, part 2.
77.5
77.5. Yeah.
FM radio.
KXMTX.
Dude, I always wanted to have like just a radio show.
I don't know if I ever have done. I feel like I've done something like that, but
hmm
not fully. I guess a podcast is kind of like a radio show.
It is. Yeah. Radio shows are like some of the first podcast style
If we were going live
shows.
streaming,
Yeah, and just having those like, all right, we'll be back after this jam session.
hey, this is your host.
Stinky Pete and the crew.
Yeah. This is Wolfman Jack. Remember that guy?
No.
Pretty sure it was Wolfman Jack.
Man, there was this one guy in Great Falls, and he was just famous.
Oh, I can't remember his name, but it was
Like Nick
yeah.
something.
Yeah, he was like on the pop station.
Yeah, it was like,
All the girls were probably like, "Oh my god,
dude,
I wish
yeah,
he was my boyfriend."
yeah. Actually, that's my
He's
brother. He
probably
would
like,
know.
"Dude, I could get any one of these teenage girls, but I'm 25 years old,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I don't even care, man." I just kidding. Dude's probably just such a chode.
for real though. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure. Like, I don't know. I remember hearing about him getting like arrested or something.
For like hanging out with underage girls or something.
I don't know what it was. Yeah,
Probably
partying,
buying beer for
belligerent,
minors and
something.
who knows. But that seems to be a pretty common thing. I hear about these people nowadays that are identifying as different ages. Have you heard about that?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, dude, I'm sure it's been happening for a long while, but I don't know. Here we go, even deeper now. Oh yeah, I seen a new age thing that's like, did you know that it's basically a magic spell and a curse? Every time you sing happy birthday and blow out your candles, you age yourself.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And so there's people on the comments that are like, I'm never going to sing happy birthday again. I'm never going to blow out another candle. And there's like Jehovah's Witness in there. They're like, I've never celebrated a birthday my whole life and we still age.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. There's always got to be some crazy theory out there of people like, you know what? This is actually witchcraft.
For
And
real.
people, when they're like, you're actually an immortal spirit and nothing in life is real. It's all an illusion and we're inside a dream. Y'all need to wake up. Nothing's
Yeah.
real.
I mean, that's like probably pretty true.
I mean, yeah, in the sense of like, when you die, you probably like wake up somewhere, but then you probably like, I don't know. Would you like, you think you die and you're like, oh, none of that was even real? I'd be like, no, dude, that was my fucking life. That was a rad life I just lived. I'm
I
dead
mean,
now.
yeah, but like that's I think that's just as possible as anything.
Like, as possible as the president being an interdimensional reptile that
I mean, as far as what happens after you die.
oh
I, I mean, but yeah, if it's all just a dream, I
fucking
mean that's
nightmare if the president's a damn space lizard.
nightmare, nightmare. Yeah,
uh I don't know. I love like looking into that, it's drove me crazy down the rabbit hole with the theories of the Matrix and stuff like that. But you hear about Andrew Tate some more at all?
Not really. I try not to.
I mean, I watched the Vice thing about him recently.
I find him negative interesting. I'm so
For sure.
uninterested. Like
Well, I am kind
I
of
don't even care.
glad to hear that like they're seizing all of his assets and they're going to like millions of dollars from all of his like vehicles and stuff like that are going to like victims or whatever. And
Right.
I'm sure it's like, yeah, dude, no matter what you got going on, it's still pretty kind of, fucked up. Even if you're being like, this is legal.
Right.
Or I'd see things like, the cops are corrupt, I'll just pay them off. Yeah, you probably don't want to say that online. Even if you're gonna pay them off,
Hmm.
that's still a crime.
I
Like, I'm
mean,
pretty sure, right? To pay off the cops, that's you're committing a crime and they're committing a crime.
yeah,
So
for sure.
I don't know. Criminals do often influencer criminals have a really good way of exposing themselves online.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like it is interesting just to see people like expose themselves, and not even that too, but just to see people go crazy on the internet, you know. Like I don't think it's anything new, but just the fact that people can get attention, you know. Like it's it blows my mind some of the people that like get a following.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's dude, it's really weird. Like when I had that mental breakdown,
Hmm.
sort of a state of psychosis type thing where, it's almost like too much information. It like literally felt like, you know, the weird thing is it's like you feel like you completely see the truth of reality of like, oh, maybe this is a hell. Maybe we are in a dream and or some sort of heaven or hell that you create. And that's what people say, or some sort of dream state. But from what I've come to understand, that's a pretty unhealthy way to live your life. It's also good to just be like, you know what, just play the game of life. Like
Hmm.
just just enjoy your life. Just, you know, make some money, do some service for the world, like be a part of the world, find somebody to love or do something,
But
you know?
at least stop like fighting it, you know, stop resisting it, just go with the flow, you know,
Well,
at
yeah,
least.
and so that's what I'd see a lot of this stuff with the new age movements. I got, pretty interested in these different new age beliefs that people would come up with online, especially, you
Yeah.
know, internet gurus of like uh when they'd say like, you raise your vibrational frequency and ascend to the fifth dimension.
Hmm.
And I'm like, what does this mean? What do I have to do here? Do I have to stay in a positive state of mind all the time, raise my frequency, do breathing exercises, or stop eating meat or drinking alcohol, blah 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 blah, and I'll ascend to the fifth dimension? It's like, what does that mean? Like, you're gonna leave the third dimension? It's not like you're just gonna go to some like heavenlier realm, you know what I mean?
Right.
But they kind of, I feel like there's this weird sort of, it's like a pitch for a lifestyle.
For sure. Yeah. People
And
people have been selling that shit forever.
it just is like, I feel like it's one of those things where it's like you never get there.
Yeah.
You know, it's just this
Yeah.
constant thing of like, you know, kind of like a cult where they're like, you know, just keep on giving me your money. One
Hmm.
day you'll understand and you'll be
Yeah.
free of all your worries. And it's like, nah, dude. There's always gonna be something. You're gonna wake up one day, you fucking you have a damn hemorrhoid. You're like, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know, it's like no matter how much you don't eat McDonald's,
Hmm.
you can still wake up one day with a fucking hemorrhoid.
It's true.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. It's kind of funny, like, but that's again, you know, that weird thing that people will sell you is this whole um the matrix or this game of life when really I'm just like, you know what? Fucking I don't need to figure out life.
Hmm.
I really wanted to for a long time.
Yeah.
But I'm like, yeah, it's just an endless rabbit hole.
I mean, I feel like you kind of you look you figure things out anyways as you go, like just life lessons and stuff. Things happen and you're like, dang, you just something will really sink in just because of the moment or something, just
Oh yeah.
by
Well,
virtue of living.
it happened the other day, you know. So one of the topics today at the meeting was making amends with people.
Hmm.
And you know, it always seems to come down to most often the people you love and are closest to,
Yeah.
you know, maybe your significant other, or parents, or best friends. But, you know, so in my life, we'll have these patterns between my wife and I. They're like, okay, yeah, these are usually the things we could argue about, you know.
Hmm.
The oh, go spending money, the dishes, the laundry, this dumb shit. And so now, you know, I'm like, I'm so used to these patterns. I know when it's coming up. I'm like, okay, I feel like there's gonna be a fight coming on here soon. There's a potential. I'm coming up on the coordinates of the next possible fucking battle.
Hmm.
And you already know if you just shut up and you don't react to your wife spending more money than planned
Hmm.
when she went out shopping, you
Right.
can avoid this whole fucking argument.
Hmm.
Well, I failed last time again. And I was like, God damn it. I knew it. I was just like, I should have just been like, huh, well, all right. Instead of just be like, ah, fuck. I knew it. I knew this was gonna happen. Like I simply just said that, and it's like, "Woof."
Well, I mean, I will say that like it is because it is gonna happen, like it's just gonna happen no matter what. Like you said, and it doesn't even have to be like a couples thing. It could just be between anybody that you're close with, And if you're talking to somebody a lot, you're gonna end up disagreeing about something.
Or work situations where it's like, guess what? Our usual patterns of work.
Yep.
Every time this happens, this guy always seems to make this motion, movement, or mistake that irks me. And then maybe this time,
Hmm.
I'm just gonna not react the same way I did last time.
Yeah, and like it's just choosing your battles, and knowing how to argue and how to fight too, because like I said, it is gonna happen, especially in with couples and stuff. You're for sure gonna fight, and some people just don't know how to fight. And I don't think it's totally fair for, like, in a relationship, for anytime there's an argument, and I'm not saying this in your case, but it is just kind of like a thing, just, like happy wife, happy life type
Definitely is
thing,
true.
which I get it, but at the same time, like, there needs to be a back and forth, and there are gonna, like I said, like, you're you're a you're two separate people, two separate brains and ways of thinking. Like, there's gonna be disagreements. Like, if you both recognize that, and I don't know, like, you can see it with just, like, it's a spectrum, some people, they disagree and they flip out and start beating each other, and then you
Yeah.
see some people who can actually talk about it.
Well, yeah, and that's, I guess, this whole thing I'm trying to do now. Be like, fuck, I'm gonna be
But it is
more
also choosing your back.
responsible,
Hmm.
or just, and I mean, it really does help improve like life all together. Like you say, happy wife, happy life.
Hmm.
Just with whoever it could be, or
Well,
whatever
that's
the situation. Watching TV, you could be like, I'm gonna turn on Fox News, and oh, I know it's gonna piss me off, but maybe just don't turn on Fox News.
that's the whole philosophy behind stoicism,
What?
is just not letting anything bother you, because it's your choice to be bothered or not, like with anything.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it is the whole
I mean,
outlook.
how many times have you, like, been mad about something, and then not just the initial reaction of something happening, but, like, you continue to be mad, and you're like, no, I'm gonna be mad, like, fuck that, I'm right, and you just continue to be mad, like, you're choosing to be miserable.
It is weird that it is a choice because sometimes it doesn't feel like you're choosing to feel a certain way.
Well, that's
But
what I'm saying, like, the initial reaction of something, that's one thing, like, you have to give yourself that, because you are a human being, you can't just, like, become a robot just because like, things are going to happen and you are going to react, but you still you still have the choice eventually.
well, and that is the strange thing about, of the chemistry of being a human, and like our brain chemistry and body chemistry, and putting in substances into your body that could alter your mind or your emotion, or the way it could alter your chemistry, when it's like, okay, this is gonna calm you down, so you're gonna be able to like chill out a bit. And because say when I smoke weed, I'm like, oh, I'm so pissed off right now. And then smoke weed and be like, you know what? I don't know why I was letting that bother me so much. Like, it really ain't that big of a deal. Like, fuck, I'm sorry. Like, what was wrong with me? Why did I make that out to be such a
Yeah,
big deal?
for sure, dude. Yeah, I've always felt like shame, like mad shame, like embarrassed, like,
After,
why. Yeah, like, if I would get mad at, just even, just being rude, or just, you know but just
oh,
being mad and being pissed off, and then yeah, like you said, just smoke some weed, and I'll just be like, why was it, yeah, just, like, literally, like, why was I like that, like, I can't even, it just feels so stupid.
yeah. And so I guess that was kind of the topic of things, was because then even when you go to say sorry to people, and it's like, sure, you can say sorry, and that might not feel like enough to them, and or it might feel like enough for you or them. But I've found a lot of times I'm like, I'm sorry, I just, but I'm still like, I still want to make it up to you. I feel like there's something more. I still have people that I've said sorry to that I'm like, man, I just still feel like I my words have done so much damage
Yeah.
that I'm like, well, I can't, it's hard to change when you feel a certain way about somebody. Like when I would cut people down, that man, fuck you, fucking asshole, you selfish prick, you fucking use me, this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. Call people, oh, you're phony, this and that. And even if I really thought that about somebody, not being judgmental in my mind, I'm like, man, I should have, that's what I'm trying to learn now is how to be like, I don't know, like, let people be them. Like, I can't control who they are. Try,
Yeah.
try to find the goodness in people. I don't
Hmm.
know. Like,
For sure, dude. Yeah, I think that's pretty like pretty on point, you know. I try to do that, like, because it's so easy for like, someone just slights you once and you're like, fuck that person. I hate them. Never again. Like I don't trust them. I don't like them. But like really, I don't know. You you can learn a lot from people that you don't like.
yeah.
you
And
know.
then the vice versa thing, like, if it happens to you, like somebody slights you for some bad moments in your life or mistakes you made, but you really want to make amends and they don't want to let you back into your life. So it's that, kind of the karma thing of like, all
Yeah.
this energy I put out there and how, that's the crazy thing about karma. When I got into the new age stuff of beyond just like the church I grew up in of do unto others as you'd have done to yourself and do not,
Hmm.
and not to judge people, but the whole idea of like, if you steal from somebody somewhere along the line, you're probably gonna get caught. Somebody's gonna steal from you, or I don't know, just the whole idea of the way energy might move, like molecules or something, where it's like, yo, you start putting out these thoughts, and if you're putting out all these negative thoughts, like, oh, I just want bad things to happen to this person or whatever. You have all that anger and ill will,
Hmm.
or like nowadays, I'm trying to pray more. I pray with my kids like every night
Right.
and pray for, give thanks and try to pray for other people. Hey, can you help them with these struggles that they're going through in their life? Because I do want to see them, you know, come through on top and overcome their struggles or whatever problem they're trying to solve right now.
Hmm.
And it just makes you think like, man, I don't know, putting all that energy out there could be good or could be
I
bad
mean, I
or could be
think
nothing.
I I think I think it's both, like I think those like types of feelings and that energy and stuff, those like on both ends, like the bad side and the good side, like those extreme like emotions, like things that you feel um just like really passionately about something, whether it's positive or negative. Like I think those things inspire action in a lot of people, like I mean, some people might get all riled up about something and then go commit a violent crime. just because they're so riled up about something they believe, you know, they're putting this so much energy into this negative thought or whatever, and they run out and, you know, but same thing positive too, you know, like if you're really focused on that and you're surrounded by those types of people and you feel that community, you know, and like you're just moved to keep doing that and keep doing better and stuff, you know. um like you don't really see a lot of that in the middle. Well, I don't know, maybe not.
Well, I mean, that's what I face
It's
still.
just what you focus on, you know.
And, you know, it's human nature, of course. Some people, you know, like for me personally, when it comes to things like um, bipolar or manic episodes or depressive episodes, it's pretty natural thing too. Like, you know, you might get all excited, like, man, I got something going on. I'm feeling really good about it. I got a new job. I've been trying so hard to get this job. I got my promotion and I'm going to be making money now. I'm going to be able to get my new vehicle, my new place, and get my girlfriend, blah, blah, blah. And then you get into it, and then it's like, oh, you know, something happens. It's harder. You're facing struggles. Your body's getting worn down, and you're like, oh, God, this is just, you're not feeling that, you know, positive like excitement. And then it's,
Yeah.
man, is this really what I want to be doing? I don't know if this is what I want to be doing now. And then it's like trying to find that neutral zone of, I
Yeah.
don't know, to live in that happy medium. It's pretty tough.
I don't know, man. Like, um, I've never been diagnosed with anything like that, but I can really relate to that. But it does make sense that it would be natural just to have those up and down rhythms, you know.
Hmm.
Um, I think like if you're just like a super low energy person and you're just kind of like cynical and, you know, and then all of a sudden you're just like freaking out, like super happy running around. But if you're like that type of person all the time, then no one's gonna be like, are you okay? You know, you're just so it's like I feel like it's how far do you swing back and forth, you know? I think everybody, it goes up and down. Like that's what I was gonna say. Like I feel like my whole life it's just been like that, been like this fucking sucks. I don't know what's going on. And then like a little while where it's like, oh, it's all good. Like this is cool. I'm feeling good. And then it'll just go back down and then back up and back down and back up. Like,
Yeah, and that's been my life, you know. Uh, and I'll look through my notebooks and stuff, or just
yeah.
old footage, you know, videos and stuff like that, or think back, and you know, I'll see like my manic episodes and writings of like really hopeful, really positive, and then I'll also see my really depressing ones of like also periods of substance abuse, a lot of drinking, and even smoking a lot of weed didn't always make me positive. I'd dwell in negative spaces too,
Yeah.
and I'd have bad trips on psychedelics. It wasn't all rainbows and unicorns. I'd definitely go to my dark side of the moon as well.
Hmm.
And now it's interesting, you know, because when I was like, you know, talk to the doctor about my mood swings, bipolar disorder, and okay, I'm just trying to get to a level place instead of feeling like I'm doomed. There's impending doom, and you know, there's no hope. You know, so after I got on Lamotrigine, about a month later, I was back to work. You know, construction, had my tools, had a business. I'm like, fuck, dude.
Right.
Okay, this has helped get my brain chemistry back to a point of, you know, I'm not afraid to
Right.
go out in the world. I'm not anxious to talk to somebody on the job or a potential client or whatever. I'm not afraid of the rejection. And then later when I, you know, was diagnosed with the ADHD and got on Ritalin, So I've been on Ritalin for a while now, and I don't use it like all the time, but
Mhm.
I will notice nowadays. I'm like, man, why do I feel like kind of like calmer and like slowed down? Because I never understood that when people be like, "Oh, you're on some sort of like speed or some upper." Um, Obviously, Ritalin's not amphetamine; it's methylphenidate. But it's
Mhm.
weird when I am on it and I'm like just like slower, more focused.
Mhm.
But it's just interesting because I'll think back more. I'm like, man, I remember, being like, oh yeah, person's on speed. They're like, "Zoo, zoo, 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 zoo." But I'm
Yeah.
like, I was like that, like normally.
Right.
I'd be like, zoom, zoom, zoom. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that, and I'm chaos. I ain't getting nothing done.
Yeah.
And so it's just weird. I think it's been a pretty interesting phase of my life trying different, lifestyle of fucking recovery stuff and not
Mhm.
self-medicating and just kind of, especially when I'd looked at it like using myself as I was kind of my own little lab rat at points in my life,
Right.
with substances. Like, well, if I try this, try that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, it's a perfect concoction for me to just be perfect until a little too much of this, not enough that, blah blah blah, and now my brain is melting
Yeah.
out of my pants or whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't know, dude. Life's a trip, and it's just been kind of weird now. The start of this new year, being like, who am I now?
Dude.
And being like level headed.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, man. Like I I just had a doctor's appointment the other day and I'm like thinking of a bunch of not a bunch of stuff, but just thinking of stuff afterwards that I wish I would have asked her about. Because yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like I relate to that too.
Like
Just as far as
mental
like
health wise.
yeah, and just kind of like I don't know. Just figuring out what the fuck is wrong with you. Like because
Oh,
sometimes it
for
could be
sure.
it could be nothing, and sometimes it could be something that's like, oh, it's just been like that my whole life, and I never realized that that's why, like you say, like I'm not getting anything done or whatever. Because I don't know, I feel like I for sure could probably have some form of ADHD.
Yeah, I think it definitely has enhanced through the years as far as like with society, where it's like, yeah, now we got 15-second video clips and we're all like, shoo, 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 shoo.
Oh, for sure.
But when I think back to, when I'm like, my life in school, I really didn't actually pay that much attention. I was just daydreamer, draw, doodle, look at
Yeah.
skateboard magazines. I'd be like looking at the teacher and like thinking about whatever else. I Most of the time I'd be thinking about imagining that girl naked. I can see her thong. No,
Yeah.
imagine my teacher naked.
Right.
I mean, because he was a pretty buff guy. I'm just kidding. No, I had
Uh-huh.
some good looking female teachers, but what I'm getting at here is this, you know, because I've heard people say things about these mental health things not being real, and I've thought that stuff too. Like, this is just the way I am. Like, this is the way God created me, and I'm like perfect, you know. And so, okay, have you heard of that artist Ren?
Maybe.
He's kind of like a rapper, singer guy. He plays guitar. He'll play like classical guitar.
I don't know.
I'll have to send you some links, but so he recently had this new song and video come out called Sick Boy. Um, the other one before that called High Ren, which was super dope, was kind of the whole like both sides of the conscience talking to itself, like
Hmm.
devil on your shoulder, arguing with the angel on your shoulder type stuff. Pretty common.
Right.
Um, but one of the lines that I caught in one of them was the whole thing of like basically, and I've been at this point too of like, I'm not crazy. The world is crazy. I'm the sane one. I can see the truth. It's
Hmm.
everything out there, all these people that are all brainwashed by the lies.
Yeah.
And it's just it's just a weird state of mind to be in where you're like, I'll get kind of self-righteous, egotistic, and be like, I'm the fucking truth.
Hmm.
All that shit. They're trying to say I'm crazy. The doctor's crazy. I'm not crazy.
I mean, I don't know, dude. I'm like, I just, I can't help but look at things like, just, I feel like it's a balance is like the answer to most things, you know? Like
It is.
it's a balance between, not thinking everything is wrong with you to just totally ignoring your own health,
Yeah.
because for sure, like the brain is just an organ, things go wrong with it, and it could just be something simple. Yeah, you just take a pill for this thing and it helps out a little bit. I mean, I feel like anything you can do to help make life a little better, you know, like, I mean, life is great, but that's what it's all about, is just the little things, those little improvements, and just trying to improve your situation, or
Yeah. And I might have mentioned this before, how in one of the meetings when we were talking about how people will substitute like one substance for another, they'll be like, I'm getting off of alcohol. But and they smoke a lot of weed
right.
or whatever it may be. They might, just substitute one thing for the other with
Hmm.
anything. And so there's been some people when they talk about sobriety and, you know, when things come down to alcoholism, alcohol is one thing, addiction's another, as far as like somebody made it clear to me the other day when they're like, well, alcohol is a legal substance. You can go buy it at the store. For people that get into illegal substances, that's a whole nother level of like what you're willing to do in order to get your fix.
Right.
Like so you're willing to go into almost like this little more underground world.
Yeah,
You're willing to break the law in order
that's half
to
the fun. No.
yeah, dude, that's why I'm like, fuck, I don't even smoke weed anymore. Shit.
Right.
Fucking legal now. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, so that's interesting that that was an interesting outlook on it. But what people also brought up was the idea of like prescription drugs and people, if they get surgery and there's like painkillers involved or
Yeah.
mental health, like uh, medication for mind altering or mood altering. People have
Right.
mixed viewpoints on it, like, oh, don't alter your mind, and people are like, no. Some people need that shit. They might want to kill themselves. They might want to kill other people. They might fucking,
Yeah.
and so yeah, again, that balance of having a healthy outlook
Hmm.
and understanding of the fact that, yeah, there are there's good reasons that certain things can be used and utilized, like pills. Prescription medications aren't a bad thing, or alcohol is not
Yeah.
necessarily a bad thing, but depending on the
I,
person, could be bad.
I just, I mean, I honestly think that it's probably something. It's like putting a band-aid on for something that's probably like a deeper issue, something, because it's like, I don't know, man. It's easy to think like that we're just like we're so advanced and we're so smart, and like we're just like kind of separate from nature and all that. But we're not really, and depending on how long humans continue to exist, we're at this point right now, and obviously something is like it's not perfect, there's a lot of things wrong with just us as a species, and just the little things that go wrong, but it happens all over the world, like people are doing these things all over the world, so I don't know, man, like it's something. But yeah, if you can do anything to help like people going crazy and hurting themselves or hurting other people, but even just like I was saying too, just like making making it easier just for people to function in society, like isn't that what you would want? Like as on a giant level.
Yeah, so we were working on the state fund building here, and just chit chatting with like the security guard guy, because it's like a secure building and we go do some work here and there, and we pretty much had to have this guy with us the whole time.
Right.
I don't know if they just want to watch over us as well, or get the right like access codes or fucking cards into certain areas. But we're small talking. I'm like, "You from here?" It's like, "Oh, I'm from Washington, and went to college in LA and worked in Seattle for a while." And so we're just chopping it up about the city, and like, "Oh yeah, man, the homeless and the crime, it's getting pretty crazy out there." And talking about Portland and the whole um decriminalization of drugs in Oregon.
Hmm.
And he's like, "Yeah, I hear a lot of territories have just turned into like gangland,
Yeah.
with like drug lords kind of running certain areas."
Crazy.
And it's like, I don't know if it exactly worked out the way they were hoping.
Well, maybe they shouldn't have tried it in fucking Portland. seems like seems like it seems like something that could work, but maybe just not there for the first time, because I don't know.
And maybe if they had a little more of a medical like a program, it's like, yo, this is how you get your substances, not
Hmm.
just like, yeah, we're gonna decriminalize it so that this guy over here that's mixing up a batch of crystal, he can legally carry up to an ounce on him. I don't even, or because it's like, oh, okay, if you can have this much, well, it's obviously coming from somewhere.
Hmm.
And it's like, oh, it's obviously illegal to manufacture and like sell these things, but how else do you think that they got them?
Right. Yeah, I'm not too sure about all that. I don't know, man. Like
Did you know that actually, um, we might have talked about this before too, that methamphetamine is you can actually get prescribed it.
Yeah, I think I've heard that. Yeah, meth is like Schedule 2. It's not even Schedule 1.
So yeah, it's just
Cannabis, weed is Schedule 1. It's higher
I don't
on the
understand
danger
that though.
level than meth. And
That
cocaine.
definitely makes no sense.
Cocaine is Schedule 2
I,
also.
I've heard conspiracy theories or theories that they're like, oh, the reason it's Schedule 1 is because it
It opens your mind.
opens your mind and the brainwashing starts to clear out.
Well, isn't that LSD is Schedule 1 too, right?
Yeah, and sometimes when I be tripping out on LSD,
Mushrooms.
I'd of course be like, wow, my mind is free for sure. Like tapped into the universe. I'm reconnected with the God, my ancestors, spirits out there in the astral realms. And other
Yeah,
times I'd be like, I can't tell if my brainwashing is being cleared out or if I'm being brainwashed right now.
for sure.
Most
Yeah,
of the
man,
time,
like
I was watching TV though, and I was like, "Am I being brainwashed right now?" If I was
for
tripping out in
sure.
the woods, I probably wouldn't feel like I'm being brainwashed.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's I think that's kind of that thing where it's like you have to decide how much of of the game you still want to play, like if you keep going down that rabbit hole, eventually it's like, what's the point of even trying to breathe air, you know? You because I mean, like
Uh,
you can convince yourself that nothing is real or whatever, and
well, yeah, and that's why people might be like, "Shh, just I'm gonna just unplug."
I mean, dude, yeah, I've seen this video where this kid fucking dug out his own eyeballs tripping
You've
balls on
seen a
acid.
video or you
It
heard the
was
story?
no, I seen it. I
What?
saw it. I
No.
saw it. Yeah, dude.
On facesofdeath.com or whatever?
Bro, you've never seen like fucked up shit on the internet?
I try not to go down those rabbit holes. I would
It's not
definitely
even
start going down it. I'm like, okay, I need to back out.
for sure. Yeah, dude. No, I mean, Reddit is a terrible place for that because you'll just come across stuff. Um, it's not like Facebook or anything, but
Okay, he dug out his eyes. Why?
he was just tripping, dude.
Ah, bad trip.
But the video was only like
Tripping
after
on bath salts or something?
something,
Or
dude.
like psilocybin mushrooms.
There was no explanation. It was like a 5-second video.
Well, that is the scary thing too. I think that a lot of it also has to do with like your upbringing. Like if you had a fucked up upbringing where you're like
For sure.
molested or fucking beat and people
Dude.
threatened and locked up and this or that, and then you do like some acid,
Yep.
you're probably gonna be like, oh my god, I remember all this. Yeah, and yeah,
Fuck.
or something like that. I don't know. You might like people might feel like they see like it's like one person might drop acid and be like, I could see angels, I could see God and like the beauty and everything. And then their homie right next to him is like, oh my god, dude, fuck, I see the devil and everybody's turning into demons right now. And
Yeah.
I'm in fucking hell, and the other person's in heaven. They're just like, oh my god, dude, this is amazing. They're like, I, what the fuck? I'm done. I can't get out of this. I'm trapped. Uh,
I think I think the one thing that like psychedelics do show you is that there is so much that like your mind and your projection and your beliefs and stuff affect, and then like it only goes so far, but like you do affect the world with your vibes, or whatever, just like your outlook on things, and but it's everybody has their own thing, and like everybody is like projecting their own reality outwards, but we're all doing it together. It's like a cooperative
Online multiplayer.
online. Yeah, exactly. I was literally gonna say that.
I mean, that's kind of when it came down to this whole idea of a simulation. That's the way I do look at life in a sense. Is like, yeah, sure, if our soul exists in the beyond, then and you
Hmm.
plug into this life,
Yeah.
yeah, that makes total sense. But at the same time, I'm like, well, it's probably still pretty like the idea that, like say there's some moments in your life where somebody you love passes away, family, friend, and then there's those moments in life where you're like, I swear to God, that was fucking them. Like something happened in my life. I seen something, I heard something, somebody came across me. I know it was them. They're like that visited me as like an angel or something. Or they came through the other side into like a picture or a video I seen. I don't know.
Hmm.
And just to like tell me they love me or that they're watching me or something. And then so I don't totally believe that like, oh yeah, when you die, it's just like none of this shit's real. Like I'm like, no, dude, I like to think that if I pass and I'm out there, I could still watch over my family and friends and, say hi every once in a while.
Hmm.
I don't know. Maybe this video game of life still exists out there in the library of the multiverse. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I wasn't even really talking about so much like whether it's real or not, but just the fact that we are all kind of like projecting our own realities, and it does affect things to an extent. um but it's only so much. Like some people get so lost in their main character syndrome, and they
Yeah.
think everything that they think is just the whole fucking world. And yeah,
That it's
I
only
don't.
their world. I've gotten to those places too where I'd be so isolated that I would think that at times. That's when it got to the unhealthy states of mind. When it's
Yeah.
like, no, no, it's like, sure, you could create your own world and your own life. You're kind of living in your own world that's a part of the big world and everybody else's world. It's like you got your own world. That's often why I say things to people. I'm like, how things in your world, you know?
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, man. So I'm even though like all technology and stuff is kind of like going towards just re-simulating our current world,
Hmm.
like I can't wait for that, dude. Like I've always wanted to just be able to just like strap on or just like enter the game, and just go play some Call of Duty like in like your town. Like if it was Great Falls, like Great
Jesus,
Falls
James.
was
No,
the
I'm just kidding.
map. Well, you don't play Call of Duty,
No, I don't.
but just like where you could just pick any real world location, just like Google Maps or Google Earth, and just drop in there with your squad, and because you know the environment, because that's how it is. Like multiplayer, you play the map over and over and over again, and you learn it, but if it was a place you already actually knew,
If it was that like assimilated to
it doesn't have to be a shooting game either, but just
reality,
like, yeah, like
Tony
imagine.
Hawk or whatever skateboarding
Exactly,
game.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be weird, and that's when, again, like, people with really bad mental health issues that can't distinguish reality from a simulation.
Uh-huh.
That's the dangerous ground of, when people be like, "Wait a minute, are we in a simulation? Is this a simulation? Are we already within the virtual reality, or is this the real reality?
Hmm.
Is this?" I was watching that '90s show. Have you heard of that?
No, I think I heard of it, but
It's like the new sequel to that '70s show or something.
yeah,
It's pretty cringe, but kind of funny.
yeah.
It's funny to see the '90s stuff, but they have Tommy Chong is back in it as his character, and he's like, "Yeah, man, I've been watching the real world, and I was thinking, if that's the real world, is this the fake world?" It's like,
Stupid.
I know, but that's definitely some of them thoughts I'd be like thinking, like when I get really stoned, and that's sometimes why I'll even miss smoking weed.
Hmm.
I'll think things where I'm like, did I get better ideas when I was high? Like, or, just that whole idea of like, it was a lot easier to dive inside my own head. I feel like
Yeah. I think it's
smoking
just
weed.
it's the way your brain forms connections. I think is so it's just so different. It's more abstract. I think probably a lot more whatever right brain activity going on. I think it does. I don't know if you want to call it creative, but it is more like, yeah, I think right brained. So yeah, I'll be it. It's not like you're really trying to think differently or like trying to come up with anything. It's just weird thoughts and connections pop in your head.
Yeah. And that's one of the reasons I was so attracted to psychedelics, even microdosing. I was like, dude, I get so many good ideas for like a song. You know, I'd look at something or hear something, and I'm trying to get, I try to draw inspiration from like anything all the time still, but it just seemed like under the influence of some sort of psychedelic, marijuana, mushrooms, LSD, it was so easy to be like, oh, I could write a song about, you know, somebody, the perspective of somebody driving down the street in a car, and, like to actually, put myself there and to view it from somebody else's viewpoint.
Hmm.
There's just That's the weird thing about it is and maybe that's just my mind, but for me, it was easier to place myself in kind of different situations.
I mean, if that's what you want to do, and you can recognize that maybe you've used like alcohol and substances maybe as a crutch, but you recognize that like that's something that you want to do, like you could just do it. Just do that.
Yeah.
That's for me with like just being social and drinking. I would always use alcohol as a crutch, which is probably like the most common thing. But that was my thought process. Like after quitting, I was just like, well, now I have to get good at I have to try to improve that skill on my own without using that, and just the fact that like I you spent all that time using that as a crutch and then you have to start without it, and so like
Yeah,
yeah, of course it's going to take some time.
that is true. I mean, I guess that's what the psychiatrist told me about, um, like Ritalin. He's like,
Mhm.
well, the idea with it is that, you know, as you use it, you'll start to develop these patterns and like new neural pathways that will help you develop these habits so that you're able to just live like that without it.
Right.
That's the whole concept behind
Yep.
the idea of yeah, like we've talked about that in the past, forming those new neural pathways, and that's what I'm trying to absorb from these Rob Dyrdek podcasts.
hmm
It's just the whole idea of like create a new system, formula, and routine,
Yeah.
and get
I
in the
mean,
groove.
yeah, and I think that's why there is something to the power of like not just positive thinking, but just focusing. If it happens to be a positive goal, then whatever, but like just focusing on that. Because I don't know, man, like I feel like everything about like self-help type stuff and just all of that self-improvement, behavioral health type stuff. Um, I don't know, so much of it gets lost just on the guru, people selling books and stuff that people just like you can't discount it all. But yeah, I don't know. I think there's definitely something to just focusing on something, and building those pathways and just it becomes part of your natural just your natural habits, and it's just easier but that's like a physical thing that's happening in your brain, so like I think there is power to um I mean repetition for one, just doing something over and over again, just like playing music, learning a song or something. Like I still think it's magic how you can go from like I can't do this to your hands just doing it for you, like it's still pretty awesome, when you learn a new song.
Yeah, dude, it's pretty crazy, and it's weird how when just with anything, like you say, like the muscle memory,
hmm
when you can start to do things just off of like pre-program your body to be like, yeah,
Yeah.
it knows what to do. I remember times when I, be performing live, and it would get to a point where it's like, I don't have to think about these lyrics. Like
Yeah.
it almost literally felt like I flicked a switch
Yep.
sometimes, whereas like I'm in autopilot right now. I already know how to do all this stuff. I've done it, practiced so much.
hmm
It's flowing, it's automatic. And then when I start thinking like, oh, am I gonna mess up? And then, oh, I messed up. Why did I
Yep.
think that? You know?
Yep.
So yeah, it's just crazy. And work, whether like construction,
hmm I was thinking that too.
just getting the flow and the flow state,
Yeah.
all about the flow
Yep.
state.
For sure, dude. Yeah, it just sucks that for me at least, like I I don't feel like I really get there until about like afternoon. The whole morning I'm just like, God damn it, I'm tired, and just working, and then have lunch, come back feeling good,
Oh
hit
yeah.
that stride.
I mean, there's definitely that like morning kind of like the energies building up. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it has to do with just like the cosmos too. Like
hmm
there's a certain, maybe I'm wrong, but it seems like there's
No,
definitely
for sure.
something about like sun and
Yep.
just, when the sun comes up and it's at a certain point and when the sun starts going down, just how it starts to naturally affect us. And
Yeah.
I don't know, even if you're like a night owl, like I'll go through night owl phases,
hmm
and ultimately I don't think being a night owl is all it's cracked up to be.
No, I mean,
Sunlight is
I
pretty dang nice.
Yeah, like I've always loved waking up early. I just wish I could run off of less sleep, you know.
I don't get that much sleep. I ended up crashing recently. It's just like my body had to rejuvenate.
Dude, yeah. I mean,
I only
I'll go for a while where like I'm I'll get like 6, 7 hours of sleep, but then I'll crash and have to sleep. I need 8 hours, dude. I can't.
fuck. I feel like I never get 8 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
I'm always up till midnight.
Hmm.
My alarm goes off at 6. Um, and a lot of times I'll still be up till like 1, sometimes 2.
Yeah,
It's crazy. But
that is crazy.
I know. But the thing is, I'll get home, do my, you know, get cleaned up, eat dinner, hang out with the family. And a lot of times I don't get them down into bed until, it's like 8, 10 o'clock. Usually about 10
Hmm.
o'clock is when I'm like, can break free from the kids. They're asleep.
Yeah,
And then I'm like, well, I still want to have a couple hours to come in the studio, work on some music or videos or play guitar or just
yeah,
even spending time with Kayliana watching a TV show.
for sure.
It's like, well, it's not the most quality time, but we're hanging out, watching a show, we're
Hmm.
laughing together,
Yep.
whatever. And then next thing I know,
No,
it's already 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, fuck, I gotta get up in
I was
4
gonna
hours or
say
something.
I was gonna say that being single is with no outside influences on your sleeping or waking. Like I basically wake up at the same time every day, go to bed at the same time every day, and
Mm-hmm.
do as I please throughout the day. So it's like it's pretty easy to end up like falling asleep at the same. It's not even so much when I go to sleep. I wake up at the same exact time every day, no matter what.
That's when I start feeling like I'm in a simulation.
Dude, I can't. I literally can't sleep in past 4. Just 4 on the dot every day.
Well, and I find myself doing like the same types of things when I wake up. I'm like, dude, I probably took
Yeah.
like the same exact steps, did the same things, made these same motions to go get my food going
Yep.
and caffeine and I'm like, dude, it's so weird. I'm making the same exact moves as I did this whole last month and month and month. And that's when I'm like,
Yeah,
it's a little bit different every day. But yeah,
man.
that's when I'm like, maybe I am living in a damn computer simulation. I don't even know.
I was feeling like that for a while because at work it was just me and one other dude there. And then we got another builder, and then we got this lady who's supposed to be our sawyer, but they're they're putting in a whole new truss line over where the saw shop was. So she's been over building with us. But then we just got 4 temps. I think they came up from Missoula, but they speak zero English.
Oh, they're
So
Mexican.
that yeah. So
Yeah.
that's been pretty interesting, man. Just having all the new bodies in there. Dude, it's like such a crazy different environment.
Mexicans are good workers from what I've experienced.
Dude, I'm like we're telling them to like slow down. We're like you guys got
Yeah.
to
They
it's
literally,
okay to slow down a little bit like cuz I was sick over the weekend, and then I took Monday and Tuesday off.
hmm
And so they started Monday, and then so I was gone, and so I come back Wednesday, and it was just crazy. I'm like, what is going on? Like it was just so much going on. But yeah, it's been interesting trying to navigate how to how to teach somebody, you know.
Oh, that you can't, the language barrier.
Yeah. Just been doing a lot of like kind of
Oh,
sign
let me guess.
language.
A lot of
Yeah. uh
uh
no, plus the like the Google Translate that helps quite a bit.
through that. Dude, it's funny. There's a few different Mexican crews around here in the drywall field, of course. There's this hanging crew that will follow behind a bit, and one of the first jobs we did that the Mexicans hung recently, homie at work's like, "Hey guys, who hung this place?" Like, it was done really well, you know? Like,
Hmm.
"Who hung this drywall here?" Like, "I don't know, it might have been this crew over here," and my cousin's like, "Pretty sure it was the Mexicans because there was a tortilla out in the front yard when I came walking up." We're like, "Oh, yeah, it definitely was." They were, like, across the street a little bit, you know?
That's funny.
So I was just like, "That is just fucking hilarious." But, you know, not to change the subject, it's on the topic of race, but have you heard of the new, HBO Max cartoon, Velma?
Velma. Yeah,
Yeah.
of course, dude.
You heard about all the controversy with it?
Hmm.
I don't know, what are your thoughts on it?
I mean, it's just that I don't know. It's just a bad show, right? It's
I
just
do
not
that,
funny.
yeah.
Like nobody. It's universally hated by everybody.
I really have no intention to watch it because I'm like, "Damn, dude, motherfucking
I've seen
Scooby
like
Doo, man. I love Scooby Doo, but this is kind of some weird teenage drama,
yeah.
kind of weird."
I mean, I'm sure there's somebody out there that finds it funny, but yeah, they're probably 12, 13. Never even.
Well, and that's the sad thing is it's like, I guess it's the market. Who's it for? Because it, in my
But
mind, I'm like, it seems like it's kind of for adults,
yeah, it is.
but all of us adults are probably like, dude, what the fuck? Like, I don't give a fuck about this shit. Like, this ain't Scooby Doo. I don't need to hear about like people questioning their sexuality or their race or,
It's just.
you
I
know,
think. I think it's just got everything in it that
it's controversial.
I don't know. Yeah.
Well, I know that they definitely could have made that with some other fucking characters. They didn't have to
Hmm.
do it with Scooby Doo characters. And in fact,
For sure.
I'm that female that I don't know if she's like the kind of the brains behind it, the writer and
Mindy Kaling.
the it's all coming down on her.
Yeah, I think she was like the producer of it or something. But I think she also voiced Velma.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. It's probably not going to be a too good of a thing. When I hear the racism stuff of, I heard her say something like, "Well, if you don't like it, then you're being racist because of the racial changes." But some of the things I have heard it in it too are like, seems like they're also talking a lot in the show about like, oh, rich white people and this and
Hmm.
that. So I'm like, well, it sounds like there's this mixed thing going on of like trying to include other races, but at the same time, kind of being racist.
Yeah, it's pretty weird.
So yeah, I guess it's probably not going to be too successful. Probably ain't going to be coming back for a whole bunch of other seasons.
No, I think it's the worst rated show on IMDb.
Dude, I was kind of looking forward to it until I realized that it's like got all these weird like well, I don't know. It was kind of weird to be like, sure, all right, the lesbian Velma and Daphne scene, okay.
Mhm.
And then I see like a scene with Fred where they're like, oh, he's got a small wiener. And then I see some scene that's like Daphne and like a fight in the showers.
Mhm.
And so they just got her with like a little bit of bubbles over her nips and cooch. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? This is just weird. I don't know if I should be like, these are like high school kids in this
Right.
show.
Mhm.
This is kind of fucking weird. I don't know how to feel about this.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It seems like they've done so many different versions of Scooby-Doo and different like remakes and stuff. Seems like it's pretty hard to mess it up, you know, like just do the thing. They just switched everything about it, you know, and
I
pissed
think,
everybody
yeah.
off.
And I honestly haven't seen like I clicked on a few different reviews that were one of them said like, is it really as bad as everyone says? So I was like, well, I want to see somebody that has something like the opposite outlook
Yeah.
on it. And it wasn't. She's like, what the fuck, man? She's like,
Yeah.
now let's just take your favorite childhood cartoon and turn him into like a gay murderer. And I'm like,
Yeah. I think that's why it's like such a story is not that it's bad, but just because
they changed
everybody thinks it's
something.
bad. No, like it's universally hated. Like there's even the people that it's supposedly made for, they like trash and talk shit on. I
Dude, even if they would have just it'd probably been a great show if it wasn't Scooby-Doo.
don't think it would have been a great show because, like I said, their target audience, they literally trash in the show. They like make fun of the people that they're trying to target. Like,
Oh, yeah, dude, that is weird, like and that's one of the reviews I've heard about it was they were like, "I don't know if this show was written by people that just had, like, bad high school experiences, and they're just trying to, like, kinda vent it
I
out."
I think they typed in like, yeah, like edgy cartoon for teens into Chat GPT, and that's what they got.
You never know, yeah. AIs be making everything nowadays.
Yep. They're writing
That's
my words right now. I'm not
You're
even
not
here.
even really there.
It's a
That
deep fake.
you're a simulated
I'm
hologram.
sleeping. Yeah.
I had a feeling. I could tell. That look in your eyes,
Yep.
that
So I
fake
was
cough.
so
You're
I was
not
wearing the
really
glasses.
sick. I'm just kidding.
The glare hides my CPU.
Oh, your infrared beams
Yep.
inside your eyes.
Yeah.
How's the glasses been? You wear them at work or no?
Yeah. I fucking broke my other ones.
You had to buy some new
Yeah.
ones recently or what?
No, I had these.
Hmm. You wear contacts ever?
No, I need to get some.
I'm pretty used to them now. I took a little adjusting to be like, oh yeah, I got things in my eyes, but
What do you have to just like glasses or what? You just go and tell them your prescription and they order them for you?
I think they make they're a little bit different a prescription for your eyes. Like I had to get a new
Oh, you have to get a whole eye exam for them?
yeah.
Oh, damn it. That makes sense because when they give you the prescription, it's like for glasses, lenses.
Yeah. And so contacts are a little bit different. So these are technically my trials,
Right.
but I just need to hit them up. Yeah, I'll order because these are like the dailies,
Hmm.
which I don't get rid of them exactly after one day. If I'm at work in a lot of sanding, and they get super dirty, then yeah, I'm definitely not gonna,
Yeah.
you know, if I have other clean ones, I'll just switch to the fresh ones. But yeah, I don't know. I have a homie that he's recently had a shard of metal in his eye.
Dang.
So from work, and now he's gonna have to go get it taken out with a tool,
Mm-hmm.
and they can't put you under.
Right.
I'm like, oh fuck, dude.
You know what they do? They
What?
use liquid. They use liquid cocaine and numb your eyes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you can't get
Like
high if you
actual cocaine?
liquid cocaine. Yep. That's why it's scheduled too, because it has medical uses.
Well, uh,
The more you know.
uh, the more you know. Da-da-da. Yeah. Um, dude, these guys had some like liquid cocaine. It was like a booze that
Hmm,
had cocaine in it. I never drank any of it. I
weird.
wish, but it was at like a wedding.
Yeah.
They were up all night for sure. Fucking jacked up when they woke me up. I was like, damn, dude, you must have drank that fucking bottle of liquid cocaine, huh?
Dang.
I know. I didn't realize that that was a thing.
Yeah, I
But
think that's
Coca-Cola.
right. Yeah. It's weird that you can't get high through your eyeballs though.
What? You could put like LSD in your eyes.
I mean, I guess cocaine, maybe it's just enough to numb your eyes and you don't I don't know how it works, but that's what it's used for. And you don't get
I've never
high.
put LSD in my eyes either. Like I'm like, fuck that shit. Like let's
Yeah,
put it on my tongue, man.
that seems weird.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know. The idea though of like, you'd imagine like in a movie like blop, and then the eyes just like whew, pupil dilates, and you can just see all the way through space, like through the simulation. You just see the Matrix.
Yep.
I
Dude.
mean, yeah, have you seen the movie Lucy?
No, I don't think so.
Dude, you gotta watch Lucy. It's Scarlett Johansson.
Hmm.
She gets like kidnapped in a third world country or something, and or it's like the Chinese mafia or something's gonna transport these drugs through people. So they'll like slice them open, put a bag of these drugs in them, traffic them, and then
Hmm.
do the operation, take it out, and sell their drugs. But
Right.
she like gets in a fight and gets kicked, and so the bag like rips open, and the drugs start to disperse into her system.
Yeah.
And it just basically throughout the movie, it slowly opens her mind from like 1% to by the end of it, it's 100%.
Hmm.
It's so awesome, dude. It's like it feels like an acid trip or something.
Right. Hmm.
Like at some points, she'll in the beginning stages, she'll just kind of be like thinking a little more ahead and be like really smart, really activated, and then she starts to be able to see like maybe like the molecules that are in like the trees in the air, and she can see like sound waves and like cell phone waves and all these frequencies in the air.
Right.
And then it gets to points where basically, it's like the whole universe. You can like recite like the history or the creation of everything. And I don't even know, dude. She starts being able to like morph into like different, like her eyes start to like, at one point, they like change into like every species.
That's crazy.
And dude, it's crazy. She basically becomes like God or something.
Hmm.
So check it out. Lucy, and that's why I also thought I was like, Lucy, is this supposed to be like a something with LSD?
Right.
Because I felt like that on LSD. I would be like, oh my God. I remember tripping one time and being like, dude, my blood cells. I was like thinking all the way back. Like, it's crazy how on a psychedelic, like mushrooms or something, you'd be like, yo, I'm living in 2020, but I'm thinking about fucking the beginning of time. Like when I'm thinking about way before I was born. I'm thinking about like the first human on the planet ever
Yeah.
and being like, wait a minute, are you telling me that we all came from that first human? Like whoever these first humans were, that blood, they have a baby, that blood regenerates, these cells keep regenerating. I'm like, so wait a minute, are you telling me that my blood could be connected all the way back to that fucking, like I remember thinking that I was like, our blood goes all the way back to like the beginning of time.
Yeah. Yeah. And every molecule, man, we're made of space dust.
I was like, dude, what the
I,
fuck, man?
I can't remember where I heard it, but I think it was a Vsauce video, but he was talking about um kind of talking about just the way molecules are like dispersed throughout the atmosphere, and basically it's saying something like in every breath you take there is a molecule that like Jesus Christ himself has breathed, or just like anybody in on earth. Like think of anybody you know. Every breath that you take, there's a molecule that you're breathing that they have breathed or that has been in their body or been a part of their body.
So wait, are you telling me that every breath you take,
Mm-hmm.
every move you make,
Uh-huh.
I'll be watching you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Dude, that is pretty wild. And, it makes me think of how they say that like in an atom in a molecule that like 90% of it is empty space or something.
Mm-hmm.
And that they say that like, oh, when we can feel like this table, that it's actually like the resistance to the molecules that we feel, like that
Yeah.
molecules can never actually touch.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like the resistance.
Yep.
That's so fucking weird. Science.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's matter, man.
Dude, life's too fucking crazy. It's
Mm-hmm.
too awesome. That's why I'm like, dude, that's why I believe in a higher intelligence. Because I'm like, dude, this shit's just too fucking, it's too fucking crazy. Like, life is too crazy. Like,
Yeah.
super rad though. Like, I'm fucking stoked that I'm
I'm stoked.
enjoying life again, and I'm not just like, dude, fuck life. Life sucks.
Yeah.
I wish I was dead.
Yep.
Because
For sure, dude.
uh, I don't wish I was dead. I'm happy to be alive, happy to be chatting with you, and can't wait till we get back together again. And I don't know, just be living in the real world.
Mm-hmm.
Sometime this year, we'll have to get together.
Yeah, dude. For sure.
Guess I'll have to make some plans.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got any plans for traveling this year at all?
Not that I know of.
You ever go to Great Falls?
Have I? Did I? No.
You ever?
No,
Well,
not
I
in a long
was thinking
time.
about you recently because I talked to James Dilge again,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, "Yeah, man, I just wanted to, you know, shoot a video for you when I come back this summer, and so I was trying to line up some potential projects, and
Mm-hmm.
so then I was thinking, I was like, well, what do I want to do? I don't know. Do I
Right.
want to get other people involved? What do I want to do? I want to do something cool and different, but
Mm-hmm.
I thought about you, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Um, because
What, he's gonna be in Montana?
yeah, he usually comes to Great Falls. I was like, shit, I want to go back to Los Angeles again,
Mm-hmm. For
but
sure, dude.
got to make some plans, make some money,
Yep.
and make some things happen. But
Fucking A, dude.
well,
Yeah.
snipes, brother. It was another good chat.
Yeah. How long did we go?
I don't even know.
20 hours.
Holy, no way, bro.
Let's
It
see.
time's just an illusion, bro. It's just like age. It's not even real, dude. Time's not even real. It's just an infinite.
Facts.
We're stuck in an infinite moment, bro.
Yep. Yep. It's always today.
It's always today. That's right. It's never tomorrow or yesterday.
Straight up.
We're never going anywhere. We're just at the crossroads forever. We never
We're
leave.
just spinning in circles, man.
Spinning. We're
Trying
in
to
the
get 8 hours of sleep.
we're in the Tesseract. I don't even know if that is the right word, but we're just in the fucking
We're in the
never.
fucking Thunderdome.
We're beyond Thunderdome. I'm just
I don't know. I don't even know what that movie is. Is that a movie?
yeah, Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome,
Okay.
dude. Mad Max. You've seen Mad Max, right?
I haven't.
What? How have you even seen Fury Road?
No.
Dude, watch Fury Road. That's the new Mad Max.
Uh-huh.
I hear they're making another one too. So fucking
Okay.
rad, dude. Post-apocalyptic.
Scarlett Johansson, right?
No, it's what's her name?
Oh, the younger Charlize Theron?
Yeah,
Or no.
yeah, Charlize Theron.
Yeah, Charlize Theron's older. She's hot as fuck.
Yeah, she has a shaved head in that Mad Max.
Just how I like him.
Dude, she's bad. She's a bad.
No, I haven't seen any of those. Is it on
Dude,
Hulu or
first of all, did you hear that the Spartans, when they get married to a woman, the females would shave their heads so they could adjust from
Mm-mm.
gay sex to having sex with a female?
Nah,
That's what I heard recently.
I've never heard that.
I mean, I think they were into that, right? Like some gay orgies back in the Spartan days.
I feel like gay orgies have existed ever
Well,
since orgies.
yeah, definitely. Dude, like those. Did I ever show you those lighters my wife got in Pompeii?
I don't know.
Dude, she came back with all this stuff
Bunch
that
of
was,
dicks.
dude, dicks everywhere. Like,
Yeah.
oh my God. Like, there was a guy, it'd be like he had like a bag of dicks, sprinkling seeds into a dick garden,
Yeah.
and there's like a dick bird flying.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, dude, what the fuck, dude? So obsessed with dicks. And she's like, there'd be like dicks in the stones leading you to like the whorehouse, I guess, which was really just a cave with a boulder.
Right.
So I'm just like, damn, dude, fucking humans just
Yeah, dude. I mean, you really gotta imagine that even thousands of years ago, like it's just the same shit going on. Except now we have that's what's crazy though, is like so much of a lot of like stuff that's going on is stuff that's just been going on forever. But we are in such a crazy new time that has never existed before, and anything could really happen, like I think that's what's crazy is um just the fact that people think we could just continue living however we want forever, and I don't know. I've always said this, like I feel like people are just waiting for something to pop off,
Well, it's just
something
like
to happen.
when we were talking about when COVID hit, I was talking to that security guard and we're like, dude, everybody just went fucking nuts. Like riots. They're like, fuck yeah, I've been waiting to throw bricks through windows and light
Yeah.
the police station on fire, storm the White House gates.
I mean, I think it's for not maybe not that, but like what's going on in France right now, like there's massive protests going on because they're trying to raise the um retirement age. And so they're standing up to their government, whether it works or not. But yeah, dude, I feel like a lot of people are, you know, waiting for something to change.
Well, yeah. Or they're yeah, trying to make it change, which I was thinking about I seen this little clip from the movie It's a Wonderful Life. Did you have to watch that in high school?
No.
It was about like concentration camps
Oh yeah, maybe.
and like the kid's father is like mother and father got taken into concentration camps and his father kind of tried to make it look like it was a fun game he was involved in like oh da 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 love you
Wasn't that
son
Life is Beautiful?
life is beautiful yeah
Hmm.
and to like try to keep the kids innocent and happy and not live in fear or something but
Right.
it made me think back to I remember being at a friend's house and seeing a movie that was about like concentration camps and the Nazis and Hitler and then he started telling me about like the Antichrist and the end of times doomsday prophecies
Yeah.
and it's just interesting because I'm still like even though I'm like doing more like Bible study stuff and like trying to read the Bible and have my faith and God and Jesus and stuff with the devil and all that's just like my brain and I'm so interested in religion.
Hmm.
But there's just some things like that where I'm like, I don't know. I just don't ever think that like I've been so afraid of stuff like that when I was a kid growing up, like one day it's all gonna end and the doomsday is coming and the Antichrist is gonna take over and we're all gonna be fucked. Jesus can come back.
Yeah.
And all I could get to this point of with the whole Jesus come back thing is I'm like, yo, I'm just trying to be more, live a little more Christ like myself and try to inspire that in other people and try to be less of a devil myself. Be a little more godly, like a little more good. I'm just trying to be more good. And I'm just like, I just don't think it's ever gonna like fucking fully like it's never gonna be over. I'd
Yeah.
probably just be another fucking evil madman that wants to rule the world that's gonna try to make shit go down and people are like, no, dude, fuck that.
See, that's kind of what I was saying though, that I think is crazy because we've never lived in a time where the possibility to end all life on Earth is there, um like I mean, or even something natural, like just a insane meteorological event, like it just wipes out, just like the dinosaurs, like that happened. That's a real thing that happens. um I don't know. I think most people do kind of have that knowledge that like anything could really happen. But um just I don't know, dude. Yeah, like the the have you ever heard of the Great Attractor? It's supposedly, I think Terrence McKenna talked about it, but I think it's also like theoretical physics type stuff. But it's basically like something at the end of time that is attracting everything towards it. It was like the singularity, basically.
Mm,
Like everything is traveling towards this point, and it's the great attractor that everything ultimately leads to, you know.
the dead end. It's
Or
like,
yeah, just like
one day we're
the
just gonna hit the wall. We'll be flying through space, and then
yeah.
one day we're just gonna hit the wall in space. Like, oh, I guess
Yep.
I guess it's not fucking forever expanding. I guess there is a fucking
Truman Show style.
yeah. Well, there is a dome or whatever. We are
Yeah.
on a snow globe on God's desk or whatever.
Hmm. Yeah. I don't know, man. Like, I think we've talked about this before too, but I think it is weird how it does seem to be like built into us that we're kind of like heading in a certain direction and we're kind of waiting for this big thing to happen, you know, like transcendence or revolution or whatever. Like, kind of seems like that's like a natural thing that humans have in them. But I think it's also kind of like self-fulfilling prophecy because, you know, just even just like the atomic bomb or something, you know, it's like all the different countries are making them, so just in case another country has it, you know.
Hmm.
So the fact that we're like
So what if
scared of
one day,
something.
like in one reality, I always have this thought of like maybe it's the psychedelics. I feel like I've had these experiences like in my mind, where it'd be like the whole world exploded, just fucking whatever, and then it kind of seems like, and then all of a sudden it just like whoop, like came right back together, maybe in like an alternate universe or something, where it's like, oh, like you wake up from a dream, you're like, oh, dude, I just had this dream that fucking the whole world exploded and you were
Hmm.
there. It's fucking crazy, man. I'm
Yeah.
glad that didn't happen. It was a nightmare
Yeah.
or something like that quantum immortality or something, where
Hmm.
like the energy has to go somewhere or something. I don't even know. But
Yeah.
that's kind of where my thoughts go when on the theories of like how energy cannot be created or destroyed. It just consciousness just keeps on going on.
Yeah.
Like, I was talking to my homie one time, and when we talk about life or death, and he's like, I think it's just over. It's just black. It's just darkness. That's it. It's just over. And I'm like, I don't know. Like that sounds kind of nice, kind of scary, but it sounds pretty like hard to believe.
See, I 100% don't believe one way or the other, you know, like it's just like, what do you believe happened before you were born? Or it's just you can't prove it. You don't know until you die, and then when you die, you can't tell anybody. But you know it's gonna happen, you know, like
Well, that's the
so.
weird thing too, like, because I recently got some books, like, and I have had a bunch of books on stuff like that, near death experiences, people coming back, and obviously I've had some experiences like that myself that are like going to the beyond, coming back. And it's like, dude, what the fuck? How the fuck? Spirit could just like your soul could like leave your body and then like come back? That's fucking crazy. Or like even if you're in a sleep and you have an out of body experience and you're
Mhm.
like, wait, what? I was just fucking out there, dude. And then
Yeah.
now I'm back. Like, this shit's crazy. Or
Mm-hmm.
the idea of, in these books I would read, I think it was called Adventures in Immortality. And they were also talking about kind of like more of like the unsettled spirits that kind of got like stuck or lost and they didn't keep going on.
Mm-hmm.
And just that whole idea too of how you could get kind of stuck. Like, and that's something I think about like when with the idea of suicide. Of course, um have you seen What Dreams May Come?
Yeah.
I think there was something like that, like his wife that killed herself. It seemed like
Mm-hmm.
she was stuck like in that moment,
Yeah.
like forever or something, which
Mm-hmm.
is an interesting outlook. And that would kind of make sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you'd be able to figure it out and like get out of that one day. Be like, you know what? Actually, I fucking learned my lesson or something.
Right.
I have no idea, but that shit is what I'm interested in.
Mm-hmm.
Not just interested in, the Super Bowl coming up, which, I love sports and stuff too. But I'm like, yeah, you ever think about you ever think about life, man?
You ever watch sports on weed?
Yeah. You ever like, you ever look up at the sky and just think like, dude, what is the sky? Is
Mm-hmm.
the sky even like a real thing? Is it just like, what is it, man?
Right.
I can't reach out and touch it. I,
It's not real.
man, I could kiss the sky. Excuse me while I kiss the sky.
Yeah.
Uh,
Excuse me while I kiss this guy.
excuse me while I kiss this guy. Yeah, dude. Dude, we went into Wendy's yesterday, and well, we went ice skating yesterday, which was pretty rad. I hadn't been ice skating since I was like 10 years old.
Hmm.
We met Elsa from Frozen.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Super rad, dude. But we go get some coffee after that, and then we go hit up Wendy's. Kids love Wendy's fries. I love them too. And fucking long ass drive through line.
Yeah.
Like, well, maybe we'll just go in and it'll be faster. I don't know if it was actually any faster. And the kids were stoked. Like, we never have actually gone into Wendy's. Like, you haven't? Oh,
Yeah.
well, so they're like, this is awesome.
Mm.
To be a kid, I'm like, dude, going inside Wendy's is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And so we're in there waiting in line, and I hear, I'm wearing that like kind of denim jacket thing that has a Jimi Hendrix sewn on the back.
Mm-hmm.
And I hear this guy behind me. It's like, dude, I love your jacket. Check out my shirt. He's got a Jimi Hendrix shirt on.
Huh.
Then he starts going off on, he's like, dude, I made it my mission in life when I was like 20 years old to go everywhere and experience Jimi Hendrix. And he's like, I snuck to his grave and gave the security guard a big fat joint and da 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 da. You guys like tattoos? You should go over here to Anaconda. I got 7 kids and 20 grandkids, and I'm just like, dude, this fucking guy.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if he had teeth. He
Right.
had a giant crystal on his necklace.
Yeah.
He was a DoorDash guy. He had like Misfits patches on the back of his jacket, Vans shoes, and this guy's like 50, 60 years old or something.
Right.
And I'm just like trying to be nice, but at the same time being like, put out the vibe of like, you know, can you fucking leave me and my family alone right now? Like,
Dude,
thank you for the
yeah.
interesting stories, dude. Right on, rad. Have an awesome night. But you're kind of fucking creeping me out, and I have my young children right here, so
For real.
keep it short and sweet, buddy.
Yeah. Dude, I every time I go to this vape shop, because there's one that's like just a couple blocks from me, but it's not open on Sundays. So sometimes I have to go to the one uptown. Every time I go in there, this dude, he'll just ringing me up, and then he's just like, yeah, I used to get in a lot of trouble, never been arrested, but my buddy was drunk driving, and he would just like end up and talk like, dude, last time I was in there, he was talking about like human trafficking and stuff. And I'm like on my way out the door, I'm like, all right, dude, like, oh, really? Cool, cool. And he's just like, but every single time I go in there, he has the most insane story. And I'm like,
So he's like, so hey man, have you heard about what the Illuminati is up to?
yeah, pretty much.
Dude, he's like, I found out a lot of things on Google. Duck, duck, go, man.
Hmm.
How about Hollywood?
Yeah.
You know, and so before I let you go, I'll be like that guy. I'll just keep y'all on the fucking hinge, just rambling about nonsense. But I see this thing on TikTok about a guy in Walmart who came and I don't know what this fucking guy wanted, but he came and like grabbed this woman's child and like held her hostage, basically. Just a
Right.
little like 2-year old or something, 2, 4, 5-year old. And basically, I don't know what this guy was trying to get. Didn't seem like he was trying to get any money. He was just in a manic episode
Right.
and was saying some crazy shit like about the Illuminati and the president and probably the Matrix and they're
Hmm.
watching us all. And he could have been another one of those guys that's like, God told me to do this. Because I've heard stories about people being like, God told me to go, you know, on a manhunt, slaughter or whatever. And uh so it ended up being basically they kind of settled this guy down for a second, got him a chair, and one of the cops fucking shot the dude in the head.
Dang.
Yeah. Because they're like, dude, we just had to save this little girl. And of course the cop's like, I never even shot my gun at a human before.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that's the only thing we could even come up with to do. And it just again got me thinking about I've never been in like that state of mind, but I know what it's like to become like basically at a point it made me feel almost like paranoid schizophrenic or something. Like that's all I can chop up some of the stuff to be where you're like the Illuminati's watching me and the devil and the president are from hell and whatever and we're all doomed.
Hmm.
Google's watching us, they're listening to everything we have to say. And I'm just like, ah man, the paranoia is getting fucking
Well, that last part's true.
what?
The Google's spying on us.
Well, yeah. And that's the thing though.
It
It's like
just feels it.
what are you gonna do about it?
Right.
Like are you're gonna have to just live with it. Like some of these things in life, you're just gonna have to,
Well, also too, nobody gives a fuck about us.
dude. I mean, unless you're like, if you're up to some illegal shit, you obviously have a reason to be paranoid. Which I was thinking about this the other day. Like, think I was like just filling up at a gas station, and it flashed me back to sometimes when I'd go buy like acid or something off of a homie and be like, "Oh, meet me here at this gas station or something," as we're passing by. And like the paranoia I would get just being like, even like a little exchange. Like, yeah, this is obviously like nobody's gonna like notice this shit.
Right.
But that amount of paranoia that could hit you just from being like, I don't think I should be doing this, but I'm doing this.
Mhm.
And then, just how even when I'd be like drive by a cop when I was in trouble, like fuck. So paranoid.
Mhm.
There's a cop right behind me. Shit. And then when it's like I finally got myself cleared, no trouble, I'm good to go, and just being like, dude, I have no reason to be paranoid right now. This is awesome.
Yeah.
And yeah, that paranoia. But again, like I was saying, it just gets me thinking about how, you know, dude was talking today about driving down the highway and hitting a patch of black ice.
Mhm.
And now driving around, and he's like a big dude, like somebody you would think like this guy ain't got no fear. So he's like, I'm just so fucking scared now, like driving.
For
Like
sure, dude.
I'm like, dude, I'll be driving like an old lady. I hit a patch of ice the other day, and I'm like, dude, I don't give a
Yeah.
fuck.
I really try my best not to fucking fuck around
On the
on the
roads.
roads. Yeah. I mean, I've done some dumb shit where it's like, why? You know, nothing crazy, but just like going fast in times when it's like that could have ended so badly, or even just road raging, like I really just try to mind my P's and Q's and just get the fuck out of the way of anybody.
And that's the thing that I think about all the time, where I'm like, man, no matter how good I could be driving right now,
Yep.
especially on a 2-lane highway,
Yep.
even just down the street, you
Yeah.
just never know what the hell could happen.
Dude, I highly recommend getting a dash cam.
So, what do you gotta like charge them up and shit, or what? How do they work?
I mean, I'm not sure about the newer ones. Mine's just a shitty one, dude. I've had it for a few years. But I just leave it plugged in my cigarette lighter.
And it
But
just records.
it just as soon as you turn it on, it starts recording, and then it records like I don't know, a minute after you shut the car off. But depending on how big the memory card is, once it gets to the end of the memory card, it'll just go to the oldest footage and just start overwriting that.
Oh, so it's like obviously if there was some important stuff where you're like, I have to get this off of here.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna get
But
one.
yeah, I was just thinking, because I want to get one for my reverse looking backwards.
Mm-hmm.
Just for peace of mind for one, too. Also, too, like you're kind of self surveilling yourself, because like if you know that you're being recorded and like for insurance purposes and stuff, you definitely want to be like, because if someone
On
pulls out in
point.
front of you, yeah, if someone pulls out in front of you, but you're speeding, you might be thinking like, oh fuck yeah, like the camera caught it. This person just pulled out in front of me, but the camera also caught you speeding. So yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna look into those for sure. And
Yeah,
fucking be careful on the road.
for sure. Yep.
Crossroads.
Yeah.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
I guess be safe out there driving around.
For sure.
And
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'll see you next time.
For sure. Yeah, we went pretty long, I feel like.
Yeah, I feel like it was a good conversation. I don't really know what to talk about now, so.
Word, yeah, I'm getting pretty hungry too. I gotta go pick up my laundry as well.
Oh, all right, well.
Hell yeah, bro.
Thanks for the chat.
Thank you,
Love you,
sir.
dog.
Love you too, brother.
And I'll talk to you soon.
Word.
I'm gonna
All
record
right.
some new music to send you.
Yeah, dude, I'll check out those other samples and everything too.
All right, cool.
Word. All right, later,
Later.
bro.